Hello YouTube, Dave here again. So I am back with another of my low-tech Let's Plays, and today I'm going to be going back to Chronicles of Mystara. So last year, I think it was, I played through Tower of Doom, which was the first of the Dungeons & Dragons arcade games to come out from through Capcom. And today I'm going to be looking at the sequel, which I think came out in 1996, and that's going to be Shadows over Mystara. So we'll just go ahead and press start. So one of the great things about the Shadows of Mystara is, like, as good as Tower of Doom was, Shadows over Mystara was just so much better. It gave each of the characters new, unique attacks that they could pull off, rather than just the standard attacks or items. Introduced new weapons and stuff that you can get throughout the game, as well as introducing two new characters. So you can, in addition to the fighter, the cleric, the elf, and the dwarf, you can now also play as a thief and as a magic user. Now I'm going to be using the elf for this playthrough, mainly because the elf and the dwarf both have unique areas that only they can access if they're in the party. And again, this is me just going through as a single player. So anyway, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Now, I do have some house rules that are currently in effect for this game, and I'm going to leave them in place because it's honestly how I prefer to play the game. So the ones that I have on are that magic items are permanent, so they don't get destroyed. And the reason I chose that is because it can really, really suck to get an awesome item only to have it get broken the very next time that you get hit, which is something that can happen and has happened. The other thing that I've taken is the ability to refill my health with each attack that I succeed at. So anytime I hit something, I gain a little bit of health back. It sounds broken, but in this game, every time you die and come back, you actually deal damage to everything on screen. And it can be a really cheap and easy way to essentially damage a lot of the creatures, or even the boss fights, to the point where you only need to hit them really once in order to do damage. And when you come back, it deals a lot of damage. So it pretty much kills any regular enemy and does a significant amount of damage to each boss. Now, this is not a coin-operated game, you know, so I feel perfectly fine and just not wanting to have to worry about constantly bringing my character back in. In addition, I have lockpick and make it rain. So make it rain just gives you like more money that gets dropped by enemies, and lockpick makes it so that you don't need locks to open chests. And for the most part, there are very few chests in the game that actually require keys to begin with. I'm not going to be going for all like the secret rooms or stuff like that, at least not as far as I'm thinking here. But you never know how it might end up going. So anyway, without further ado, let's just go right ahead and start. I'll go on Master Difficulty. Alright, so here we have our character select. So we have the Cleric, Magic User, Fighter, Elf, Dwarf, and Thief. So the Thief can do a sneak attack. Magic User uses a bunch of spells. The Dwarf they made better because he can hit multiple times with a single attack, so it makes him a lot more powerful. Alright, so here we have our opening cinematic, shows all the characters. Of course, only the ones being used actually get played here, so, or actually continue on to the fight. So again, like I said, there's multiple things that you can do for attacks. So if I press the A and B buttons together, it does like a desperation attack, which is pretty cool. Down forward B, whoops. Down forward B does a slide, if I can get it to get it to work here. There. So that's the slide, and when you slide across the ground, you actually pick up any items that you slide over, which is pretty good. Down up, whoops. Down up and attack does a kind of a flurry like that, where if I do it right, I can hit. Oops! I keep turning around. There we go. Anyway, you can hit an enemy like 4 or 5 times there, 4 times I think. So you can pop them up in the air, or hit them, pop them up in the air, and then hit them down again. So maybe it's only 3 hits, but anyway, there's that. And then down forward attack does a lunging attack like that. So, and again, I'll just show the, whoop, I guess slide doesn't pick up items. So let me just find some treasure here. Oh, the wagons keep going. There we go. I'd like to rescue at least a couple if I can. Oh, I was picking up silver pieces. That's why I wasn't able to. Come on. There we go. And this is where you enter your name. Now, the name entering system can actually change some of your character's items, I think, that they start off with. So I'm just going to choose my typical female elf name, which is Ariana. Oh. God, okay, there we go. So if I press, when I get the ability to control. So after talking to the people you saved, you hurried to the village of Trenton, and I didn't get to read the rest. Alright, so yeah, if I press the back button, it shows me some of the items that I have equipped. So I have a shield, a bracelet, and my tunic right now. There we go, so that's what the down-up attack can do. The dwarf also has a cannonball attack, so if you jump and then while you're in midair press the down and attack button again, he'll do this like cannonball attack. Which can do a fair amount of damage, and like I said, the dwarf kind of hits like a dump truck. The magic user also gets much more spells than the elf, and I haven't even used any of the spells yet, so I should show that off in a second here. Oh. Now one thing I will say, the Xbox controller, because I'm playing this on the 360, really is not good for trying to do these directional controls. The D-pad on it is absolutely awful. So you can see, like, I ended up jumping when I was trying to. Anyway, so yeah, so spells, just press the Y button, it brings up your menu. So I got Magic Missile, Ice Storm, Lightning Bolt, Fireball. Now it says that I have 2 Lightning Bolts and 2 Fireballs, but it does actually break it down by spell slots. So both of those are 3rd level spells, so if I cast one, then either Lightning Bolt or Fireball, then I will only have one of the other, like one to choose from for either of those spells after that. Pressing B brings up your second menu, so I can do Conjure Elemental, Polymorph Others, Haste, Invisibility, which I never ever use, and then press it a 3rd time, it just brings me to my items. So the elf in this game actually has unlimited arrows, and can fire pretty quickly, so you can do 3 shots pretty quickly there. I don't really use these very often, so let's just go back to, let's go to Ice Storm for now. And I usually mainly save the spells for like boss fights, or come on now, just pick up the bottle, please. There we go. I'll pick up that health potion. So like I said, you don't have to play with the like the vampirism house rule on. The reason that I do it is just that, again, it keeps you from dying too much. And where, again, when you come back from dying, you can deal so much damage to stuff on screen. I feel it's less broken to get the health back, rather than constantly just spamming deaths to spamming deaths in order to like deal damage to everything. So anyway, you dare rise against us. That goes by really fast. So this is the war machine. Go faster, you dogs. I'm not really good at narrating. So the object here is just to deal damage to the war machine. Now the thing about the war machine is you've got goblins pushing it, and every time you kill the goblins pushing it, more goblins show up. So this is going to be pretty much a spell spamming situation, because to try to get in front of it and hit it is very difficult. And another cool thing is, like with spells like Lightning Bolt, for example, you can actually aim it. So I can go up and down to try to, you know, get things that I wouldn't normally be able to get. So as you can see, I cast Fire or Lightning Bolt twice, and I am now out of those spells. So, spam some magic missiles. Like I said, this could be a really annoying fight. So just about there, I am out of spells. Now another thing, well, I have invisibility, which sucks. But I picked up that free bottle, so let's go ahead and use that. Whoops. Right now. And that'll finish that off. Just kind of slide and pick up all that silver. You won't survive this attack. I'm pretty sure I will. Chew on this and just jump out of the way, and then we have some Wile E. Coyote physics here. They shouldn't have looked down. Alright, so that's the first level in the game. We'll just kind of speed that process up there with the points. So I take a rest in the village of Trenton. The next day you leave the village and arrive at Fort Montan. Blah, blah, blah. It seems more and more monsters have begun appearing recently. I heard something is organizing the monsters, readying them to invade the public at Dork. It goes by so fast. Oh, that I'm just a really slow reader. So I have to go to Galantry immediately to warn them of the threat. So I can travel by land or by boat. I'm going to travel by land. By boat, you just go on a river and you can try to avoid a bunch of encounters. I might do that for a second playthrough because I think this warrants an additional playthrough with other characters. So we'll finish this section up and then we will call it a day for this particular video. Oops, I guess I was able to control there. Now, it says I rested, so in theory, I didn't get my spells back. Alright, so the only way to get your spells back is there's a few spots where it does let you actually rest, or you can die and come back. And that's what I'm going to do here, because I do want to have spells. So, I will pick that up though. Alright, so I press start. Now in this game I can actually change characters if I wanted to. I'm not going to, but I'm going to press start when I select the elf, because it actually brings a variant version of it. So there's actually two versions of each character. And this one I think has this one has the same spells. Okay. Sometimes you can get different spell choices based off of which character you take, and I think for the magic user that is very prevalent. Oh. So anyway, let's just speed up some bow knolls. Now the elf is a pretty balanced character overall. It can be kind of frustrating. The button that you use to pick things up is the same button you use to attack, so it can lead to situations where you're just constantly picking stuff up instead of actually attacking when you want to. So it's why it's recommended that you slide every once in a while just to be able to pick that stuff up. Alright, lots of... Ugh. You can find a ring of fire resistance in the game, and I'm looking forward to that moment because it makes you basically immune to any fire attacks that aren't Dragon's Breath. Oh, pick up the haste potion. I guess I really should be casting the haste spell on myself a bit more often because the elf gets super fast. And can I pick that up? I can pick up the Rod of Lightning. Yeah, it shows there. That's cool. Also, you notice when the next part of the Juggernaut arrives, pick that ring up as well, any treasure that's left on the ground disappears. Now, treasure, I honestly don't use it a whole lot in this game. There's only a couple spots where I might consider picking up, buying like an expensive item. But honestly, with the spellcaster, I typically just focus on using their spells, and when I need to, and like I said, the elf is actually a good enough fighter that I can use her weapon attacks for the most part. The magic user is a little bit different. He does have a staff of striking, which works all right, but at the same time, he's still kind of a slow combat. I'm going to use Ice Storm here, just because that's a lot of enemies. Oh. Also, if there's a cutscene playing and you press one of the buttons, it will actually fast forward the scene. So here we have a goblin run over, trips, cries a little bit. He says, "I didn't want to release this beast, but I guess I have no choice now." Alright, and now we are fighting the Dark Warrior. Now I should say that, as I mentioned in the Tower of Doom, this uses the basic expert rules for the game. So, for example, as an elf, I am a fighter magic user. I'm also limited to 10th level. So right now my character is 8th level. Let's use Ice Storm again here. And eventually I'll be able to get up to... Lightning Bolt's not a good idea because it uses energy attacks or lightning attacks. So eventually, I max out at 10th level. The Dwarf max at a 12th level, and the other characters, the human characters, can go to 20th and beyond. Just hit him with a fireball there. So it's actually really cool, especially now that I have the Rules Cyclopedia. I can recognize some of these things, like why the characters are the way that they are, and I can say I do appreciate the changes that were made to the characters in this game to make them feel a little bit more worth taking. Like, I actually like the way that the dwarf can hit multiple times, even though that's not part of the actual Rules Cyclopedia version of the dwarf. It still makes the dwarf different from the regular fighter, and I can appreciate that. So, I was going to say I thought my magic missile just completely veered off course there. When you cast spells, you are temporarily invulnerable, and that is something that you can absolutely abuse if you wanted to. And I'm pretty much out of spells now, so. Oh, I have a wand of lightning bolts, or a ring of lightning bolts, so why not use that? Although you can't aim the ring, I didn't realize that. So the ring functions like the old school. I may as well take the death here. Alright, so here you're going to see how much damage. Just look at the enemy's health bar there as I come back. That's why I'd rather have the regenerating health, because it just seems so overpowered. I mean, the next time I hit him, he's dead. So it really can cut down on the fights. And where this home version doesn't have a cap on the amount of things you can use, quarters you can use, or credits, it can make a lot of these fights pretty trivial. So anyway, I gained 9th level. My hit points increased by 8. And this is where we're going to leave this particular video off. I'm just going to pick up a couple of healing potions, and we will go from there. So I hope you're enjoying this video so far. This game I absolutely love. So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time. Take care.